comment that the economist made, that was from Madison, was that the jobs that are being created as a result of this won't be filled by local people because the unemployed people in our community just aren't qualified for the jobs. So what he said they would be is people that commute into the area to work here, but then go home at night.
He did say that, and you know what I would say is that obviously with any other kind of employment, there's qualifications, and if there's people that are qualified, I can tell you that Glacier Sands wants to hire and keep those jobs with people that are in the community.
Sure. I have another question. You know, last month at the Town of Milton meeting, we passed a 9-month moratorium on all frac activity in the township, okay? And we did that so we had time to just study this thing, right? You know, there's a lot going on, it's happening fast, so we want to study this thing as a township, okay? But your approval process that you talked about in your presentation, you know, it doesn't really talk to the town of Milton's moratorium. And also the next Board of Adjustment meeting, you know, which would be in July or August, potentially, okay, could set up a vote to approve or deny this. And at the end, you mentioned that, you know, you were ready to start work this year, right? But that 9-month moratorium, okay, takes you into next year. So I guess my question is that something that you guys, you know, how does that impact your plans, one? And two, do you plan to, you know, respect and be a good neighbor and give us time to study the issue as a township and delay your plans until we've had time?
You're right. The moratorium, you're right, that's in place. That slide explained that 2012, you know, we're ready we would be ready to start construction if we had the permits, we were approved for the permits. And also, that slide is, you know, covers, and again, we're talking about this particular facility here, but that would include the mine facilities that would be, if again they were approved, we could start construction on those too.
So does that mean, you know, right now you're looking at the town of Milton's moratorium and saying, okay, it's going to be at least 9 months before we can start production over here.
That one. What's the?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, moratorium, they can't start until that is off, but you also have to, you were kind of talking about approvals from the town of Milton and stuff.
No approvals.
Moratorium doesn't have anything to do with approvals.
Right. But no, I was talking about approvals from Buffalo County. See, it sets up a conflict by Buffalo County could approve this in July, August, but the town of Milton's moratorium would still be in effect. So
correct.
Even though they have approval, you know, I guess really where I'm going with this is do you guys plan to take legal action against Milton to try to build this facility or to do anything before our moratorium's up?
No plans like that.
It's next year, realistically, before this starts. Okay.
Right.
I have a question. My question is, how do you plan to keep our drivers on 88 and 35, our bus routes, student drivers, staff of school, how do you plan to keep everybody safe on the roads when they're passing a truck every minute and a half, depending on if you're using 500 trucks or, you know, less, like you say? How are you going to prevent an accident from happening or keeping everybody safe?
One thing we've agreed to with the county is that we aren't going to run for the 45 minutes in the morning and 45 minutes in the afternoon when the buses are running the routes. We've gotten that time frame from Tom Ebert, and we just won't run the trucks during that time.
I don't know if you understand, but our small community, our CFC school is a pre-K through 12th grade school. And the school isn't just a typical school where it operates from 8 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. It is our community center. Every night there's stuff going on, if it's school related or not. Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, senior meals. There's adult sporting tournaments on the weekend and in the evening. In the summer there's all-day daycare. So it is our community center. It operates, open, the doors are open till probably 10, 11 o'clock at night, on weekends also. So those 2 hours, you know, it's still, I don't feel that that's enough, you're not taking in consideration the safety factor just by relieving the trucks of, you know, 2 hours.
What I would say is that, you're right, I have an appreciation now for what, you know, what the school is, as far as, just as you had said, a community center, and that there's a lot going on. I guess what I would say to the answer to that, and is that we would like to model our trucks and drivers after the folks that are conducting business in Chippewa County, and that is that they have a single manager, in this case, a company called Chippewa Sand Transport, that is, in my estimation, the only way to conduct that trucking, and that is that they run those trucks, and on the side of their trucks, it says safety first. And I know that can almost sound cliche, but for them, it's their culture. I wish you could see that. They're a company out of Ladysmith, but they have this facility in Chippewa. They hired the drivers locally, and they pay them well, and they pay them well, but they also, those drivers are instructed to follow the rules. Follow the rules, and if they don't follow the rules, they're going to pay dearly for it, or they're going to lose their job. They have taken precautions to meet with people along the truck route, to know who the folks are that live there, and it's so important to them, and it would be important to us too. Of course, we don't want to have anything like that, and we would do everything possible in that manner to keep that from happening. I'll go back to the model that they have, and what they want to do is they have a control room where they can see where every one of those trucks are, from the mine facility back to the processing plant, how fast they're going. I think their trucks are governed, and I don't say this for you to make you feel better, but the biggest complaint that they're getting up there is that the trucks are going too slow.
They're driving the speed limit, but
Okay, I understand that, and you know, I know when you have a CDL, you have to have extra training, and you do have to have a good driving record. But my concern is, you know, me driving my van, and I got 5 kids in the back of the van, my cell phone's ringing, and I try not to use my phone in the car, but, you know, and I'm passing a truck every minute and a half, or when my 16-year-old starts driving, I'll be a nervous wreck. I mean, I just think with that amount of traffic on Highway 88 and 35, there is going to be a casualty. And then what's, you know, then what?
We've talked traffic
Okay,
way too many
I'm sorry.
times.
If you don't mind, I'm Nick Hyman, I'm the attorney for the CFC school district dealing with the sand mining issues, and just came from their meeting and wanted to forward to the town board and let you know that the school board has serious questions about the traffic volume in conjunction with the bus traffic immediately in front of the school, as well as the bus routes and student drivers coming into and out of that parking lot. And we'd like those issues addressed, and would also kindly request that if the town does decide to put together a committee to work on the sand mine issues specifically, that it include one of the school board members on that committee. Thank you.
To answer that, we have started a list of people to serve on an ad hoc committee, and we did get word that they are requesting that, so we will have one.
Just want to make sure that that was on the record for this evening.
Yep.
Thank you.
I just have a question about who's regulating, you know, the 45 minutes in the morning, 45 minutes at, you know, who's to say there's not a truck out there? Are they going to just pull over? Oh, we got to wait our 45 minutes? Is there going to be some way of monitoring that there isn't going to be trucks
Well,
at that
again,
time?
like Wayne said, that can be monitored through the control center if you have a unified trucking
Will they
system.
have that?
Oh, yeah,
They will.
that is the
They
intent.
will.
So just to continue her question, how do you stop these trucks to that 45 minutes?
Well, they'll know what their route like, what time, how long it takes them to get there. They're not gonna stop on 88 because they're gonna be able to get by. So they just won't release them during that time frame.
So they won't release them, but if they can get up there and get loaded before 8 o'clock, they can waste on, so you...
Well, that's why the plan is to start at 5:30 in the morning. So at 5:30 in the morning, they should be able to get one run in down to the unload facility. And then they'll have to wait, come back, and then they'll come back after the buses are done.
It's kind of hard to stop them on the road. It's just like the truck on the bridge now.
And that's fine.
And everybody ain't moving, so you get behind this little car, and have 3 trucks
They're not
on.
gonna stop.
I think it's hard to control
I
that
got
45
a
minutes.
question back here pertaining to that too.
Another question, it sounds like you're gonna have a centralized control center where you can monitor and make routes, and make adjustments to routes. So if, as has been mentioned, there is something going on at the school, for instance, there's a 6th grade graduation coming up, or there's a, huge conference softball game, or hopefully a lot of softball playoff games at school, are you gonna be able to make adjustments to that? Is there
Well,
going to be that kind of?
That is part of the reason why they want to get the 500 trucks, is these kinds of things. Again, we'll talk about Chippewa Sand Transport. Chippewa Sand Transport does do a lot of that kind of thing. If there's something going on, they will pull the trucks off. That's the way we'd like to be able to do this too, just be able to pull the trucks off when there's something like that. And then we can increase the number of loads the next day to make up for that. So that's the whole idea of trying to be able to have up to 500 trucks.
Do you run more trucks in the evening when fewer people are on the roadways? I mean, is that something you try to do?
With the number of hours we got to get the number of trucks we need, we're probably gonna have to run most of the day. I would say there's, in good weather days where there's no issues with travel, you probably can make it in less than the 14 hours. But on winter days when we've got a lot of snow and stuff and they're driving slower, I would say they're probably gonna need all of the 14 hours.
But, so they can't drive during certain hours? I must have missed that.
That's the way the county has it set up right now, yes.
Cannot drive at
They
night?
can't drive on Saturdays and Sundays, and they can start at 5:30 in the morning and go till 8 o'clock at night.
From April till October
Right,
are the weekends.
yeah, from April to October they can,
And holidays.
Right.
and no holidays.
Your presentation stated that your core values are respect and safety. The safety issue is, it's not there. Respect, you're putting this across from a school. That's is probably one of the weirdest and dumbest things I've ever seen in my life. A school. Can you explain why a school? That's, like she said, it's our community, it's our school. Do you guys have kids? Do you have grandchildren?
He's got grandchildren. Sure.
Okay, so, I mean, honestly, a school, you've got to have a good explanation because we don't get it.
To find the rail facility and that's where.
There's got to be another location.
And
please.
also, we would, it's certainly not in no way to disrespect what you.
You
folks
are
do.
disrespecting our children. These are our kids. The safety issue is completely out the window. I mean, like she said, we have young, new drivers. No, you have not cleared our mind of any of the safety issues. Believe me, I don't agree with you saying you're gonna only run your truck certain hours a day. Oh crap. No.
Do you not hire independent truck drivers? Or is it only this Chippewa Valley fleet? Because if you're gonna,
What I said was that we want to model something after that, and we want to have a single, we don't want to have a number of different independent trucks,
Right.
different colored trucks.
I was just curious, because the 100 jobs, or the sand equals job signs, and all the advertising, I was just wondering where those jobs were gonna come from if you already have a truck fleet, that's all. That you're not hiring
They'll hire
independents.
local
No, I
truckers.
didn't.
You're not hiring
They
local
will
truckers.
hire local truckers.
Last Saturday, you weren't hiring local truckers. Now this Saturday,
Saturday?
yeah. I
What was
was,
Saturday?
Wednesday, you weren't gonna hire
No, we said
independents.
then too. No, we said then too.
So you will
Yeah,
hire my
second
neighbor that's a truck driver to